All right. Let's see if you guys can hear me. It looks like you can hear me. Huh. That is weird. So, inside the software, it used to show me, maybe is it this one? Nope, not that one. It used to show me like I used to have chat inside of the software, but now the chat is missing. I'll have to figure out how to get that back in there. Oh well, guess I'll work on that one. Anyway, I just saw this come across. Check this out. Did I tell you that they were gonna get on him eventually? It says 2 tweets have violated SEC settlement agreement. So I feel like, finally the target is they're shooting arrows now at the target. I feel like it, right? I feel like it. It's coming. I said it before. I feel like it's there. What comes of it, we'll see. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty interesting. Like, the SEC is finally mentioning something about tweets. Eventually, I feel like Twitter's just eventually going to get banned. Like, I feel like nothing good comes from Twitter, right? I mean, I really feel like everybody hated the fact that Trump tweeted on it. Now Elon is using it to manipulate the markets. I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to think of something good that has come from it, right? Like, I feel like nothing, like they haven't, I don't know. I just can't figure out anything good. Right? I don't know. Maybe just me, but yeah, I just never understood Twitter from the very, very beginning. So, yeah. And China's handing out digital currency to all. I don't know if you guys saw this either, too. Look at this. As far as the test, look at that. They're going to give 6.2 million of its digital currency to citizens in Beijing in a lottery. Right? I feel like this is rivaling what we're doing in Maryland. So if you got vaccinated in Maryland, you're part of a lottery. I haven't won yet. If I win, trust me, it'll be everywhere. If I win, I may vote for Hogan in this presidential campaign. Otherwise, probably not so much. But if I win his lottery for getting vaccinated, then yeah, I'll take it. He can buy my vote, right? But yeah, isn't this kind of crazy, right? So, I mean, China is taking the lead, man. They're going forward with this digital currency thing. And we're still stuck kind of, arguing over something. I don't even know what we're arguing over this week. So, but yeah, not too bad, right? Besides that, there's really not much out there, I would say, kind of worldly news-wise. Yeah. I mean, markets are basically just reversing from what we saw early week. We had euro strength, pound weakness, and dollar weakness. Now we're seeing dollar strength, European weakness. We were getting a little bit of pound strength, but those are actually starting to reverse a little bit, although euro pound is still down there. And again, that's probably profit taking from the European session. So here it is right here too. It's coming out everywhere, right? Look at this. And look, this is in 2018 he came under fire, right? When he was considering, and now, and like, look, and they charged him with fraud, right? And there was a settlement. That's not even counting all the market manipulation that he's done lately with Bitcoin, right? We'll accept it. We'll make $1 billion off of it, sell it, report earnings, but then to say we're not going to sell it, and then decide that it's bad for the environment, and then we're not going to accept it anymore. Like, I don't know what could any be. I mean, if you were to have a definition of what a pump and dump looks like, it is exactly what he did with Bitcoin. And again, the company profited from it, right? And it's a publicly traded company. So they sold Bitcoin. That was a big part of their profit. People got paid. And then they're like, no, never mind. It's bad for the environment. Like, you didn't know. Like, he's a smart enough dude. Like, he didn't know that it was bad before that. Like, he just figured out after they jacked the price up. I mean, I don't know. Just me, right? Is Twitter the issue or the Twitterer? I can't even say it. The Twitterer. Twitterer. Nah, I think it's just Twitter in general. I mean, nobody, like when Trump is there, like, oh, they should ban it. The president should never talk about it or should never talk on there. And then it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, think about it. There's so many people on there, but what does it actually provide, right? It's an opportunity for people to speak, but with the environment that we're in right now, with fake news and non-fact checking statements and things like that. I mean, if you are a person that if you are a quote influencer, right? If you're an influencer, you have the ability with one tweet to send things moving. And as fast as kind of the economy and everything else moves right now, I mean, just think about it. I mean, you can get information out there so fast and it is so unchecked, right? It's not like when you make a tweet, there's any type of, hey, listen, this is what it is or what it isn't, right? There's no like timer, right? Like to buy a gun, you have a background check that takes so many days, right? Depending on where you are. But for Twitter, you can just say whatever you want and it's instantaneous out to millions and millions and millions of people, totally unchecked, right? I think that's where the problem is. I don't post much on there. It's a bit toxic. Shocker, right? Neuro, I know you do. Neuro, I know you're out there posting your tabletop gaming 6-sided or 12-sided dice, D&D stuff. I know you're out there, man. I know it's you. Yeah, I mean, Ernest, I believe that social platforms are mostly toxic at this point. There needs to be a lot of reform on them. I mean, but it was a brand new technology, and it does help. Like it has provided transparency in some places that don't have similar freedoms, right? But at this point, it's kind of like they've had their impulse move. They need the correction phase. They need to there needs to be some type of liability for things. Right now, we've seen, at least with elections and campaigning and things like that, we've seen a disproportionate, kind of an unfairness with social media. It's well documented at this point with emails going into spam and who controls it. It's too controlling and it's too swaying. It's too much of a like a biased source, and the fact that there is really just Facebook, right? I mean, I guess there's Facebook, but Facebook and Twitter are different. But Facebook being the only one, there's the questions of is it a monopoly, right? I think those are all questions that need to be. I mean, if there was multiple platforms, I mean, you can't say, oh, well, Facebook. Well, there's Instagram, yeah, but Facebook owns Instagram. It's the same, it's the same algorithms and the way that they do things. And when you're seeing, specific political parties dominating by like 75, 80%, and you're seeing the other ones are blocked, erased, all those things, you can say, is it really a fair platform? Right? It's not like a debate that was on CNBC, NBC, where they all had it, right? It was a neutral ground debate that everybody was able to, kind of broadcast. When there's a political agenda behind, like, I mean, even like a newspaper, right? There's many newspapers, and you can definitely be swayed with specific newspapers, which one's liberal, which one's progressive, which one's, conservative. But when you have just one source like that, that can spew whatever information they want, whether it's true or not true, and then have no liability back. I mean, Facebook is sold data how many times now? And then we find out that not only did China buy it, but that data that they sold was used to sway elections. And I mean, where is the liability in there? Who's responsible for that? We want to put sanctions on Russia, but why don't you put sanctions on Facebook that they sold the data? They were the avenue, right? I mean, it's the same thing. Not to get on like the big political stage here, but you're going to go after gun manufacturers for producing guns, but guns don't kill people. People kill people, right? They just use guns. Well, the election was swayed by Russia, but they used Facebook. So I see us going after Russia, right? But they used Facebook. So by the same kind of rationale, the same, I mean, they were the avenue, right? The gun is Facebook. So why are they not going after Facebook? Because of the dollars, right? It's all about the money. So it is what it is. All right, let's go back into the actual currency realm before I totally hijack this. Maybe that. See, Nero, I knew you were into that stuff. Look at that Dark Tower we can play on Twitch. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing is I just saw Tribe Gaming, because I like the gaming stuff too. Tribe Gaming just did they created dice, and there's an online Risk game now that they can play. It's like a mobile version of Risk. I feel like we should have like a KTS broadcasted version of Risk. I think that would be really, really funny. You say like it's a bad thing. Yeah, no, I feel like Risk would be really, really funny, right? Like when, when Debbie and Marina are throwing the rolls out there, and Ernest loses like all of North America because Marina is rolling with one army and just stomped like his 13 people. I feel like that would get really funny, right? I feel like that would get lots of views. It's like the Pip Chip battle, but with Debbie's like, I'm in. Wow, look at this. Ernest, you believe this? I'm like, yeah, girls can, whip some butt over here, beating up on Ernest. And then what happens? Debbie's like, I'm in. Let's stick it to Ernest. Eki, how you doing today, man? It's good to see you there. All right, I'll get off my rant. Well, let's get in the charts here, right? All right, so obviously today is very, very small news-wise. We're seeing a lot of retracements for morning session. I do think retail sales will be good tonight. Last night's Aussie one was not a major blockbuster, but I mean, it dropped about 30 from an area we talked about yesterday. And again, we got, Ernest over there being the crybaby, like, why can't it move 100 every time? He wanted to do 12 ATRs every single news release. I mean, 30 in an overnight is not bad. I mean, it's not horrible. Again, with the markets being this flat, I mean, look, the Aussie dollar is at 0 in 24 hours, 7 in the pound yen, which is the biggest mover, right? There's just not a lot of going on. It's, we are in the summer, so we typically have things that are moving less. Like this is June, right? Things won't pick up till August again. So we have to pick our targets. We got to make sure that we are focusing on smaller time frames. And again, smaller time frames doesn't mean necessarily fast, but this is where you can also go back into the overnights. And again, it's all about risk versus reward. You got to figure out, what really kind of makes the most sense for you, right? And go from there. All right. Going into early tomorrow morning, there is more news tomorrow. All right. Come on. There we go. Oh, by the way, June 2nd, Jin's birthday. She's now officially 3. My wife was not happy about it. I was like, she's not a baby. I was like, no, she's not a baby. She's a toddler. It was funny. Jin was not happy about waking up this morning. I was like, it's her birthday. Let her sleep late. We were trying to make sure she was happy when she went to school, though. And she did. They're probably going to have like a party for her today, and her brothers are coming over later to give her. She's like, presents. Like she got clothes, and she's like, no, where are my presents? Where are my toys? We're like, wow. So yeah, she's already at that stage. Yeah, she's not here, unfortunately. Otherwise, I put her on stream, but she's not here today. She's at school. But yeah, so tomorrow, before we do any of the presentations, and actually tomorrow I have her graduation tomorrow. I think I have, one more week? We'll be pretty soon, guys. We're going to be back to full strength. I think next week we have their graduation, and then I have the boys' graduation, because they're obviously graduating 5th grade, because that's like a thing now. I don't remember having a 5th grade graduation when I was in school, but that was forever ago. So I think we start back up to our full chart schools again. I think the week of the 21st, where we'll go 5 days in a row, 21st through 25th. I think that's when all the kids are officially done with all their parties and schools and everything else. And then no more Zoom school. Yay! I'm excited about that. The boys are back 4 days a week now, but they still have Wednesdays as Zoom school, although they have to deal with their mom now. Because I was like, I'm done. Can't handle it. I'm just going to deal with the girl and her schooling right now. I'm over Zoom school. But tomorrow morning, we have the non-farm employment change. That's typically a Wednesday release. So again, that's going to provide some movement, followed by unemployment claims. It's 8:15, 8:30, then 10, 11. Again, we have ISM services tomorrow. That could also be a big mover. And then obviously crude oil inventories. I think crude oil, again, today was kind of a weird day as far as how compressed it actually was. But tomorrow morning is like boom, 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 boom. So I think tomorrow morning, depending on if the euro stays weak, I think there's some good potential for some movement. And again, we have Bailey speaking at 12, so I'm wondering if the pound will be kind of more of the weaker counter currency to play tomorrow. But again, with it being so early in the morning, I think euro dollar, pound dollar, or even dollar yen actually may be interesting counterplays. Now, I'm not necessarily as happy that the dollar CAD is going up today. I was really hoping that the dollar CAD would continue to drive down, because I think a number of these different releases tomorrow give us the ability to kind of really get some dollar, punch, behind it. I was kind of hoping it wasn't going crazy. Now I'm kind of like, oh, is it going to be bad for the dollar? So any of these kind of with misses tomorrow, I would say now it's probably, based off of what we're seeing right now. There's a lot of time from now till then, but right now with it kind of rallying back up again, it's like, oh, are we lining up for shorts tomorrow? Like, I don't know. I feel like the CAD is, I don't know. That's going to be some Friday data, so we'll see. But tomorrow morning early, just understand, we got 8:15, 8:30, and then bam, right at 10 o'clock, we come in hard with the ISM, and then crude oil and natural gas tomorrow too. So there are so many news releases tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's going to be like a pinball machine tomorrow morning as far as, what the releases are. And again, we'll see how many are misses. That's going to be the big thing. But I would say crude oil and natural gas both stand a pretty good chance tomorrow. Natural gas with the temperatures, we're June, and it's still not like blazing temperature hot out now, except, I don't know, Texas. Texas is probably like 110 degrees already. Everywhere else in the world, it's not that bad, right? So I would say that natural gas actually stands a chance of having a decent rally, because again, with unseasonably cold weather, it was only 50 degrees last week. At 50 degrees, people tend to turn their heater back on, right? at night you're like, wow, it's only like 50 and it's raining. It's cold and wet, right? So people, will turn their heater back on to bring it up into that 60 range, right? So there may have been some more natural gas usage. We may have a lower draw down in inventory than expected, and it could provide a good trading opportunity. So keep that on your radar for tomorrow. All right. Oh, hold on. What happened? My phone just blew up. All right. All right. So let's go across. There we go. All right. Hold on. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec, guys. Hold on. All right. So Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar has really been channeling back and forth. Yesterday morning, we were sitting kind of in this level, and we talked about this, how there's a third hit here. We were right around the 12 o'clock time frame, and you can see it came up and touched it and pushed it to the brink. It was another decent short, and again, this one came in late, dropping back to the downside in the Aussie dollar. So, was it 800 pips? No. Was it a range that we talked about? Yeah. Has it pushed it to the brink now? Yes. Would I use it again? No. Okay. I think this one is out. I think the next time we use a short, I think top or bottom, I think either of these two is kind of what we're looking for the new shorts. What? Let's do a horizontal line. Let's put it there. Actually, no, I don't want that. I want array. No, I don't want array either. Nope. I'll just copy this one. I was like, I like the way this one is working out. Oh, but I don't want it red. Oh, no, I don't want that either. Wait. No. I want this. Now I'm not going to be able to grab it. There we go. That's what I wanted. There. We go. Just trying to make these charts look a little nicer. There we go. All right, so right now for tonight, again, we're kind of in no man's land. I think top or bottom, either of those two work. Interesting enough, you can see 1, 2, and 3, and then we based in and actually went lower. It did not give us another reentry and kind of came back up and is now going the other way. So we're truly in kind of this like no man's land smack in the middle. I don't need to draw the fibs here. Another level we could use for this news is this level up here at 77.68. Like I said, we need some movement. We need some help in this one, top or bottom, either way. I prefer not to use one of these smaller levels, but I mean that we could use that level there, or probably even this level if need be, kind of on a smaller spectrum, right? It was pushed, but right now it's got a bit to move top or bottom. I mean, right now we need 45 or 47 for the top and then 60 to the bottom. We need some help, right? We need some help. We need some headlines. It's 10 o'clock now. We'll see if we can get some type of reversal. I would say right now we don't even truly have a trend. It's really been stuck here for 2 days now inside of the same level. So, not as much, right? Not as great of a play. Aussie yen is what we talked about in the Nadex presentation, right? So we have news again, and we pounded a couple different levels out. Obviously, this one was 10 pips higher. That was the actual one to take off. If you put any type of overnight position in, remember for Aussie news, there's not really 2 hours for Aussie yen, so you would have had to use one of the early morning pairs. Had you taken it here, the 3 o'clock was here, right? So this would have given you really from the bottom of the first node about 30 pips to the downside. From its peak, and again, you could have taken it off the higher one. That would have been totally fine as well. Would have given you about 33. So it was all right movement. It wasn't typically as much as we like. And again, some of those overnight ones, I didn't even check. I don't even know. Let me see. Was there a call spread up there? Call spreads, the dailies, 85.19. Nah, there was nothing even remotely close on the daily. So you couldn't even play this one with a call spread. So yeah, you may have gotten just timed out of this one. It happens. Yeah. Oh, my phone's going off again. I told him I was like, hey, I can't talk. Hold on one sec. All right, sorry, another guy was mentioning back. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking for Aussie yen. Like I said, this is kind of summer trading. This is a lot of whip back and forth. Not really. This is right now. It's more in a spot currency realm than it is inside of a Nadex realm. With the strike differentials, we need a little bit more movement than this, and it is what it is. Euro pound. So Euro pound, nice run up and literally turned and rolled back to the downside. You can see a little bit of a hiccup over here at 86, and we talked about if we got a breakthrough as a potential entry. It came down and pulled back, and it went a little bit high. And again, this is one of those things with the Harry Potters. You do have to adjust. Here was the original level, and we were talking about a break, right? Well, here was the actual basing there. Here's where the actual zone would have to be redrawn, right? You have to make the adjustment to the most recent candle, and again, it made it. I don't think it made it to 3-1. It made pretty close. There's 2.27. Yep, it did make it to 3-1. So you did get the trade off of that one, which was fine. It is what it is. You're seeing we're running into that level now, although it pushed it pretty deep into the zone. I don't know if I would take it again, but there was one little short trade. And again, I do think the level down south is, I'd say that this is a potential. Right, it based, and again, this was late at night, so again, there wasn't a lot of movement. It crashed in, and again, midnight was sitting right here, over holiday, right? And then UK session is really what launched this one higher. I would say right now, I would probably, once we get the reversal, I think downward size targets, but I think this 85.90 level is, I think there could be a potential bounce from that level. I think that's a decent one. Is this one in the middle the best? No, not so much. We can remove this. Let's pull this over. Ooh. Yeah, maybe one more there. Yeah, there's. I like how this one didn't touch that zone, but it did push pretty deeply in there. So I'm going to say that this is probably going to be more of an aggressive entry on that one. And again, if we can coincide it with news, I think that's decent. But I think right now, again, we're just channeling sideways. This was a great move. And again, we came off this lower level, punch back up again. I think that's where your target is, 85.90 to the downside. We can delete those right now. We don't need those. All right, in that range. Euro yen. So Euro yen, you can see, again, we're talking about a break. We ended up just taking a little bit of a bounce and nothing really big, right? It just came back up. It's grabbing some sellers right now up in this level. And again, this is the higher time frame zone, I believe. I know that maybe just be a straggler. Yeah. So this one, 33.60, a break of it. Again, we had one touch here. And again, this is kind of what we formed it off of. But 1, 2, 3, and now we've had a fourth hit. It is grabbing a little bit of a level here. Look for a break and then look for a push back down. Profit targets down here at 32.96. Again, channeling sideways, and this is back to the 27th of last week. So the 27th was what? Last Thursday. We've almost been stuck in the same sideways channel since last week. And I don't know, is there a channel in here? There's a fib channel. I don't really want a fib channel. Man, look at this. I got fib circles. I got fib spirals. I got fib speed resistance arcs. I got a fib wedge. I got fib channels. I got trend-based fib extensions. I got a fib speed resistance fan. Do you think fib is a hot word? I'm just saying. Fib time zones, right? I should do a video, like a parody video on YouTube about this one. Like maybe that's what I'll do for YouTube from now on. I don't really post on YouTube much anymore. It just gets tiresome, and I've been way too busy. But maybe I should do one on, all the amazing fib tools that exists, and I'll put them all on a chart and see if you can tell anything. Yeah, I was just looking to see if there was a normal channel. It's probably in here. Price range. I figured there would be, right? Channel curves, arcs. Is there a channel? Yeah, there's a parallel channel. Yeah, so. Oh no, it's making me do it that way. Where is it at? No, not that one. Wait, where did I find it now? Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, so there's the channel. It's a decent sized channel, right? I mean, we're talking about 45 pips. but it's taken some time to do. I mean, it's literally been here for a week now. So right now, again, we're sitting in the middle. If we can get back up top, I think there can be a case made that we can get something up top. The way that this one reacted, nice strong push up, got front run. So if you're looking for something smaller, and in actuality, let's go back up to the 4 hour. This should be higher. Thought we adjusted this last week, but I guess not. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Right to that level. And again, if you guys are looking for like kind of a European short, 34.7 is what you'd be looking for there. All right, European session short. There we go. All right, so euro dollar. Here's where we are now. Obviously, yesterday for our presentation, we were sitting up here, and we talked about this one dropping, and we were looking for price to come down to this 21.92 level. Now, we did come down, and it actually gave us a little bit of a kind of a retracement back again. It wasn't really enough, and again, we mentioned this being kind of in the middle of the range. We're kind of hoping that we had a retracement up, and again, we got the movement, but it pulled us down, didn't pull us up. We were looking really to be up here, and again, we were looking for a short. It just kind of flatlined on us and went sideways and then gave us the short here. So, right now I would say we got to focus on the extreme ranges of this one. I think this one has decent opportunity. You can see all the news clustered here. I think there's plenty of room to run. It just, we're literally, I mean, you guys can see, here, we'll even put a smaller time frame in here, right? Look at this. In. We go all the way down and came back up. In, popped up. Right back down again, and we're stuck right in the middle. So it's kind of a hard thing. It's like, where do we, start to pull this one? I think either one is great. Are they both possible? Yeah, but 55 and 66, either side, I think either could go, but we're not really in a place right now where we can take either trade. And it sucks. There's not much we can do about it, but we got plenty of time until the news tomorrow morning. I do think the European session, though, will set up the European trading. So if you're not staying up, I do think that the European session, which comes in, let's see, right here and there, okay? I think both of these are the basis for the move. I think we end up somewhere in here, and then if we can have the European session kind of bring us up or bring us down, I think that sets us up for the U.S. news trading session tomorrow. Now, I know it's not easy. For me, it's hard to stay up super late to trade the European Open because, again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I know some of you, it's easier to stay up, but then waking up early for news releases. I think tomorrow, if you're getting kind of a gauge or you can get up, I think the 7:30 time frame tomorrow, 7 to 7:30, will be a nice. Will be a good time, right? Why? Because that 8:15 release. We need to figure out where we are before because, again, the European session will slow, will halt, will reverse. It's playing that at the right time tomorrow, and I think that's going to be the big call. But right now, going down the middle, there's just nothing here. Pound yen. So we had this push yesterday, right? About 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Here's the U.S. session that came online. We were sitting right here. It hasn't done much. We're still floating around. Now, we are in an area of sellers, but I don't think really we have anything clean until top or at least down here until the 54 level. This is another one. I mean, when you're looking at this one, it's moved 16 pips in 24 hours. Not really a trender, not a whole lot that we can trade. Is there probably something sitting right here? Yeah, probably. Is it worth taking? I don't know. It's kind of I guess what I'm trying to say is there better opportunity? Yeah, I think so. I think there's better opportunity. I think wait for 155.93 tomorrow or 154.27 to the downside. There could be an argument made if we push down to here for the European Open that we could potentially take a trade. And again, this may be a small channel that we're dealing with, but it is literally smack dead in the middle. I can remove the 155 now. It's literally smack dead in the middle. So could we use it for a European session open? Sure. That occurs right here. Right. So if we are at either of these two for the session open, then yeah, we could take a long or short, play the European session open. But besides that, not too much. And I think the yen will be in play tomorrow. Dollar yen. So we talked about this. Again, we bounced off of it. It hiccuped again, came back, tested it, but didn't really give us a clean entry. Unfortunately, it didn't hit low either. So again, although this zone has been there, let's just remove it because we've really kind of pushed through it. We don't really need it. I would say top side, there is a little bit of a level here. It is getting close to that top area. This could be a reversal for today. Again, we've been heading up since 7:30. It's about 10:30 now. This would be probably about a noon reversal. If we get a confirmation bounce to the downside, I think 41.87 is decent, only because it's been tested. It's not the cleanest, but at the same time, again, it has been hit, and if you want to take this long, this is also a racetrack to the top side and gives us about 40 pips worth of momentum, right? So I do think this level right here is decent. Our 3-to-1 comes in at this level right there. Look at that. So I think with a break above this level, I think there's a decent long today if we come through in base. If it hits and starts to pull back down again, then you take it short. If it goes in and bases inside the zone, then you're looking to take this one long. And really, in reality, I mean, I think this one could. Where's the trend? I think we could probably get up into this range pretty easy. Right? I think we could probably get up into that range pretty easy. Right? Before kind of the sellers step in. So I think either of those two works. Dollar CAD. Now, Dollar CAD's pulling back. And interesting, look at this. Here, it hit it again and pulled back. It's been a decent runner. I didn't take this one. I had an alert set, and when it kind of hit here, I was like, And it came up, I was like, nah, it's not worth taking it. And it's pushing down, but it's at a level right now where we do have buyers that have stepped in, and they've supported themselves. And again, this is a late night, right? Late night open. At this point, I would say, if anything, this is one of the ones that we don't mention was going to be hard here. I would say there's probably a short opportunity in here. Again, there is a racetrack to the downside. So if this comes through, you're looking to retrace this down. And in this case, again, we need to make sure that profits are out before this level. Right? That would be a break of... Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. We'll put this down here. Change this to the red candle. Something along those lines. But again, Harry Potter confirmation to the downside. Look to break through. There's your 1 to 3. Overall targets at 120.22 to the downside. Okay. Dollar Swiss. So Dollar Swiss had a huge run up. And again, this is the European session open was right here. Right? European session move. Straight up. 7 o'clock. Profit taking stepped in. And now we're pushing back to the downside. And again, I would expect profit to be taken. I expect this one to run out of steam very, very quick. Now, this is a weird place to turn. Could you have drawn this? And my students are like, well, could you have drawn that there? Yeah, but the timing was funky. Obviously, European session move, and 7 o'clock is kind of when that profit taking steps in. Typically, I like to do the 7:30, 8 o'clock is where you look for real profit to be taken, and it gave us no pullback whatsoever. It literally just one candle base and then just started to collapse very, very fast. So again, kind of a harder one to grab. Could we save that for later? Sure, we could. I still think the cleanest entries on this one are still the 89.32. And again, right now I'm kind of looking for levels for tomorrow. This is going to be hard because it's all overnight based levels. There is a level in there, and it's been tested now twice, but it did turn. That we may have to snipe off of this level tomorrow morning. Not going to take this one. Again, that'll just be we're going to leave that as our European open, right? Man, this is such a good reversal. I feel like we have to turn this one red. That was such a good stop for tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like the top side better. I like how this one has stopped this one twice. I like how this has been a sharp and then boom, and then same thing. It's barely progressed into there at all. And I feel like if we do get down there for tomorrow, if we can get that far back, I mean, that'd be a heck of a retracement. How much movement is that? It's 44 pips. I feel like if we can get over here, either of these two levels, I think this level is decent. Again, that may be more of a European session one, or if we can get down to here, I think either of these two gives us some long opportunity. And again, these would be Nadex-based trades, not spot trades. With the volatility, I think either level is good. And again, I do like how this has turned twice. It's only about 6 pips. This one is 9. Either of those two are great levels. Let me see real quick. Do we have a knockout down there? Forex, dollar Swiss, 88.47. Ooh, there's an 88.39. 88. Ooh. Okay, there's a knockout there. And then there is an 80. Let's see. This is an 88.39. That one's not going to be as close. And then an 87.89. Oh, no, it's all the way down there. Yeah, so there's actually a knockout there. We don't have the call spreads yet, the dailies, but there's actually a knockout there. That could be an interesting knockout to play, the 89.39 in the dollar Swiss for tomorrow for news time. And again, let it eat through. It'll still be there tomorrow. We'll see how low if we can get down there. But that's an interesting one because it's literally right on the other side of that zone. 8 pips risk on that one from the top of that zone. I think that's a decent play. So yeah, this one, I hate to say it, there may be a trade setup tomorrow in the dollar Swiss off that level. So we missed a little bit of an entry here in the dollar yen. I expect this one to kind of pull back down today. European session started right here, right? Kind of went up and then kind of came back down again. It's hitting a little level, but I expect it to come lower. I think for tomorrow, I think a level we look for, and again, this is an old level, but you can see it's been tested a few different times, would be sitting down in this range, the 109.33. Let's see. Now there's a 109.08. But that's sitting all the way down here. Let's see. I like that one, but I think that's the better one to use. Let's change this. What did I say? 109.08. 109. Yeah, the problem is it's sitting right there. It's most likely that won't be stopped. So the way to play this one is going to be to look at it tomorrow. Again, this is an old violated zone that's been tested twice now, but 109.33 I think is decent. You can look at this 109.08 lower for news tomorrow as well. Let's change that to white. Top side, I really like the 110.11. I don't necessarily, although this is a one candle base top and it's been kind of front run and respected right now, I really like the 110.11 a lot better, using that as our top range. The problem is, again, we're kind of really smack dead in the middle of this one. You can see 22 pips in 24 hours is not horrible. But really, the last time we've had anything really, really clean is here, below, and then up top. This is all kind of smack in the middle. And the problem that I have with this one is we're about 45 pips up and about 40 pips to the downside. There's plenty of time it can go there, but it's going to have to make up its mind. It's going to have to make up its mind and go. It's not going to be able to do any chopping back and forth, or it's not going to be at an extreme level and it'd be smack in the middle for news. The other way to play this one is see what the European session does, see if it gives us a close turning point on the 30-minute. And then again, same thing, get yourself set before the 8:30 release tomorrow. And this one is definitely one that we can trade with 2-hour contracts in the morning. So that may be the way to play it. But right now, I would say I'm more bearish this position, just where we are located on the curve. But it's got a bunch of room to run at this point. Actually, this one, I could take this higher. I could move this up. Okay. So yeah, you can see we're in the extreme ranges here. All right, let's go across and let's look at the indices. We'll see what they're doing here. So right now, really since 11 o'clock yesterday, we're kind of flat. It's moved 0.2%, right? European session move has put it up in a very, very quick bounce. Here's the 15-minute how we trade it. Is there any great levels? Nah, not really. I think the first level we're watching out for up top is literally up here. And and again, this is that old target, that 42.24. With all the news coming in tomorrow, I just don't, unless there's an unexpected headline, I just don't see a lot of movement in this one today. I think tomorrow morning, this one is going to be, again, it's going to be a boom, 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 boom. All the news starts at 8:15 in the morning. Get in there and we'll look for some of these levels early on. Remember, all positive news tomorrow morning, right? This number looks positive, again, going into that kind of interest rate decision. Unemployment claims going down, again, interest rate. ISM, especially ISM, this comes in higher. That could also be an interest rate. So while all this data is great and it should be good for the overall economy, the better the economy is, the faster we're going to have to talk about interest rates. And again, crude oil is kind of a little bit separate. But that's going to be the one big clause is if this data is too good, then we can see this one head to the downside. But I think the European session is going to matter a lot. We do have a position south. If we can have a really horrible day today, but I just don't see it happening. right? Because there's no news. We do have a level that's still sitting. Oop, I didn't want to move that. I want to move this, right? We still have a position down here that we're looking for a break of 41.42. This is really, I think this level at this point is really going to take some type of an interest rate call. They're going to have to mention something with interest rates. Remember, Powell is speaking, but he's talking about climate change. It's not really going to be anything financial. Later in the week, I just don't, like I said, this is going to have to be great data that turns and rolls. But right now, the only clean level that I have is 42.24. NQ has been kind of a, we were looking for the European or the US session today to be low. We're in the exact same spot. We were sitting here yesterday, right? Here's the 12 o'clock candle. We're at the exact same spot, right? Exact same spot. So not really a whole lot. I would say that, if we adjust some of these higher, do I want to use this one? This one's been hit a number of different times already. I feel like I don't need this one anymore. We still have this kind of racetrack area here. Again, I was looking for a break of that level. There's just not much here, right? I mean, we got a small little level here. Again, this may be like a European type opener reversal at the end of day. We could take an end of day reversal off that maybe. This is just ugh. Not much movement. Yeah, I think this is going to be. I don't think we're going to get massive amounts of movement today. I think you got to wait for tomorrow. But I think either of these levels works. Potential short at 13,753. Potential short at 36,650. Again, small level here, but probably more there. Profit targets at 135.51. And again, if we go long above 138.22, again, look to take this long. But right now, with no lack of news today, there's not a whole lot there. There was our turn yesterday. Yeah, we're still kind of in the same area, right? We were sitting right here yesterday, right? Here's the 12 o'clock spot. We do this one first, and we're in the exact same spot. So we talked about it being more negative. It did. It went down a bit until late last night and came back up, but we're really in the same area with not a lot of movement. If I had to draw a sideways channel in this one, again, we have sellers and buyers in here. Kind of this range. We're at the upper end of this curve here, so I would say, yeah, I mean, there's obviously sellers stepping in. Probably need a little bit more of a kind of rollover to the downside at this point, but I would say there's no real clean levels to get into here either. I mean, we're on a 15-minute. Is there any crazy movement top or bottom? Not really, right? I think 134.408 is decent. We talked about the level here yesterday. The 34,788, actually, that was Monday or Tuesday. And again, that's the level we hit and cranked to the downside. I think that's probably our next area where we're looking for any type of shorts. And again, that could be with the disappointment or a huge win tomorrow. But really, we're just going sideways. There's nothing here, right? Let's go into oil, right? So oil thus far, since again, let's start putting this one on there. It's peaked a little bit higher out of the top. Right there, and this one would close at 14.30. Right there. So there's your oil session. So yeah, kind of the same thing. We're inside of the same box. We're rallying a little bit. It's a consolidated area. Remember, API report comes out today at 4:30. I know it's off by a little bit of a day. We'll see. I would say if we can rally up into the zone and into the after hours, I think this does give us a potential for maybe a short in the overnight, a 68.70. But ideally, like I said, this purple is the measured move. If you guys remember, or if you guys watched the session, all I did was I took this level from the last little tiny day, right? Here's a big little, and again, here's a smaller little day. This is kind of like a little, but a little big would be here. It was along those lines. So, I mean, we're within range to get there. The question is whether or not this 68.70 is going to give us a hard time. And again, it's a decent level in the 30-minute. It's there. It's been respected. But I'm really looking for a European open start over here. Actually, this is the API report. Actually, you know what? Let's just change this. Let's pull this back to 3. And then let's change this to news. Right? over here. Yeah, but like I said, are we trending? Not so much, right? Todd's like, no, it's an uptrend. It's just following. I'm like, yeah, Todd. I'm like, we've done nothing in a day. It's just going sideways. So eventually here, it's going to kind of break that channel to the side. All right. I drew, where is it? Parallel channel. I was telling him, I was like, if you go from here and up, we're breaking through this way. So, I mean, we could extend this out, right? But if it's going to break the channel to the downside, not because of movement, but because it's just been doing nothing but basing, right? So yeah, kind of got to watch that one. But overall, I would say, I would like to see oil come up and test this level. If we can get a push, if you want to take something small, you can go from 88.88 all the way up to 69.60. But I do like this level up top as far as additional shorts. But right now, it's just kind of going slow. Gold and bearish today. I mentioned that earlier. I see this one coming back down. Again, your 10:30 reversal time was right up here, and we're starting to see it have problems. There was a bounce here for no real reason, and I see it coming back and testing that level again. Whether or not it can break through that level is a different story. I think as far as decent longs go, though, I think coming down to the 1882, I think is probably the best opportunity for a long. Short-wise, again, I don't really have a lot of shorts up top. This is a 30-minute chart, and if you wanted to make a case for an extreme range of it, you could say that there's one little bit up here. And again, it's kind of smacked in, but 1913, like I said, they mentioned inflation. This one pops. I don't know that this 30-minute level is going to be able to hold. And actually, let me see. I don't remember. There's a little bit of a level there at the 1810. Problem is, this is now getting into like this, all this kind of this. Not junk, but I like the way that the candles are all pushing lower. I'm going to see this on an hourly. Let me see if I can kind of refine it a bit. Yeah. I like this. A lot of sellers in there, so it's not like a really clean level, unfortunately. And that's anywhere from, 1918 up to 1922-ish. Uh-oh, my phone is blowing up. Yeah, right now, I'd say 1913, 1982. We know that there's levels coming in, so it may be even a little bit deeper at the 1916 level. But if we can get up there before news, I think that gives us a decent ability to roll. I will say, if the data is bad tomorrow, if we miss to the downside on any of those numbers, that will shoot this down. Because like I said, gold is relying upon inflation. If they don't see inflation or if the data comes out bad or worse than expected, that goes against them raising interest rates anytime sooner, which again sends us immediately back down. So, again, for any U.S.-based news, I think, and that's coming in. News is coming in tomorrow, starting right here. Okay, so if we can rally up in the overnight, again, look for those shorts to the downside. Okay, but today I would say probably a bit more bearish. We'll see if we can get some help in the European session. And silver. Silver has actually been a bit more of a mover. So we missed that entry yesterday. This was the U.S. Open. Drove it straight down, and it didn't make it all the way. We're kind of skirting in the middle again. 1864, 1719 on the downside. I think either great levels. Is this a great bottom? Nah, not really. I'm not going to draw it. I'm not going to use it. We can take this even though we based through it. I'll just delete it just to keep this one clean. We did go higher, but didn't get the entry we're looking for. Yeah. So again, silver story has not changed. I think silver will give us like I said, if there's a miss, I think silver will kind of come back into the equation. But I would really like to trade this one off the tops or bottoms, not necessarily anything in the middle. Like I said, it's going to probably move twice as much as gold. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, if it's big enough or not, but gold is up 0.2, silver's up 0.45, right? So it does about half the, it does about double what gold does typically on a day. And I do feel like with everything that we've seen, I feel like it provides, the most opportunity as far as anything inflation related. Because remember, it's more of a Reddit-based trade. It's different people trading it. So, but right now, again, it's another pair that we're literally going straight down the middle of the area. And again, there's just not much that we can do with that. While we're here, actually, let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to see Let's see. 28.63. Nothing close there. 27.19. Nah, there's not even any knockouts. Closest knockout to the downside is 26.47 all the way down here. So no knockout plays. You know, call spread wise, again, you're gonna have to get call spreads tonight when they print. Let me see, how wide are they? Ooh, they're dollars. All right, so that may work. So most likely, if they follow suit with what we have today, it looks like there will be a call spread sitting right there. Right? It looks like I shouldn't do that red color. I need more colors. Right? Looks like there'll be a call spread there, and then there'll be a call spread. If they stay on the dollars, I'm trying to see what else would be close. We'd have a 28 right here. That may be one to play with tomorrow for news. If it prints the same exact way, that may be an opportunity right there. Right? For tomorrow. I wouldn't take it today. I don't think there'll be enough movement. There's not enough catalyst. But for tomorrow, if this holds now, showing us there's sellers in there, that could be a potential tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, this one is going to be a round number trade. We'll see where we get driven. But I think looking at call spreads tomorrow for silver could be a decent trade. And again, you can do it at the open or before news. I think either one of those will work. But yeah, call spreads on silver tomorrow, I think, could be a good one. All right, so that is the last one. That is everything. Like I said, Bitcoin's retracing today. Like I said, everything's basically retracing from what it was yesterday. All this was red. Today, it's all green. Natural gas is down, right? Down from its peak. Again, we have news coming out tomorrow. Again, you can't do it now. You got to look at it tomorrow and see where we're at. And then dollar index, we had a fast run up here at 2 o'clock this morning, and then we hit 7 o'clock, and it literally rolled right back down again. So it's coming back down. Everything's basically aligning for tomorrow. And remember, for tomorrow morning, these are news releases. Let's see, what do we have in the morning if there's anything? All the services data. So again, that could provide us some, all this, right? Services. It's all the final ones, and those are not as big of movers, but a ton of European-based data. So euro dollar, because of all this, the euro dollar may be the one to watch tomorrow morning. And we, set that one up. And again, here's the euro dollar, running right down the middle, but 122.60 and 121.34. Top or bottom, either one, I think, provides some decent opportunity. All right? All right, guys, with that said, I am out of here. Wait, hold on. I forgot to do the other thing. Hold on. Let me bring it down. I almost forgot. Like I said, without having that text box over there, that's like really throwing me off. It's weird, right? It's weird. Like I got so used to having it there, and now I got to figure out, how do I bring it back? Controls, studio mode, settings? Is it on settings? No. How do I do that? I got to figure it out. Like I said, it was great. It was on the right-hand side. I was like, oh, there we go. I can see it. I can, I could like images. I could respond right in the chat, and now it's missing. So I'm going to have to figure that one out. Is it seen? No, not seen collections. I'm going to have to figure it out. I don't know. All right, I'll give you guys about another 30 seconds, and then we will go ahead and close it down for the day. All right, let's close it down. Let's see. Now, remember, today is for 50 pip chips. It is a Wednesday, so let's see. Who do we got in here? Gallo! Gallo, I haven't seen you for a while. Wow, it's nice to have Gallo. We got all the regulars in here. We got Gallo, we got Mitch, Eki, Ross is in, Will's in, Debbie's in, Neuro's in. Wow. Except I don't see Sean. What the heck is Sean in here? Look at this. All right, so let's do the drawing. Let's see who takes it today. And I believe it was Debbie on Monday. Was that right, guys? Was it Debbie on Monday? It's Jin's birthday, right? I think it was Debbie on Monday. I feel like Debbie won with one. Or maybe that was last week. I don't know. They're all melding together. No, Monday this week. Oh, you're right. We didn't do a Monday this week. Yeah, it was last week. All right, so then it's a pure 50. Here it is. Winner of today's drawing is Marina. Look at that. And look at this with her one. Marina is she's just consistent. And it's weird. Marina's like, yeah, you know what? She's like you know what? I only win on 50 pip J's, 50 pip chip days. I feel like the last 2 times or 3 times that she's won, it's always been on the 50 pip J, right? I feel like that's how she does it, right? And again, she just sits up here. Although I think Will won the last 50 pip chip they won, right? But look at this. She's staying consistent, coming back. So good for you, Marina. All right, so look, I mean, even now we're getting a little bit more movement as things are kind of portraying. Again, dollar strength, European weakness, a little bit of, and again, the pound is coming back. It's stronger, but it's not as strong as the dollar. So the dollar is the big one. The yen, I'm sorry, the euro is the weak one. Yeah, that's how we're playing. So again, follow those trends for the rest of the afternoon. With that said, you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you tomorrow.